The horse, that is the perfect animal. You don't really choose art as a career, you know, you're kind of born into it. You know, you don't wake up one day and say, I'm an artist or whatever, just like the old cliche about poetry, that you don't have to be writing poetry to be a poet, which is very true. Art is a big word for something that is just, it's work. It's just work. What seems fairly simple at a first glance could actually take years and years of experience. And the simpler it looks, the better, because that is really where the experience pays off. The illustrated horse. This is the case of an idea that I wanted to have a horse that would retain its, you know, shape and strength and all the speed and everything, and yet be in a sense part of a total environment. By total environment I mean, instead of having just a horse, it has several layers and levels on that horse, which mean that you could almost take the piece and turn it around in any position and still have quite a readership in it. For instance, there is the head of a tiger in the entire background. If you tilt it to one side, if you tilt it to another side, you'll see there are two horses there. Point is, you don't have to look at it as just a horse. You know, you forget that it's a horse, and then it doesn't tell you the story of a horse. So I call it the illustrated horse because it has all these layers in it, all these levels.
I have been working with Azoulay for 20 years approximately. The very first job I did for him was an etching, a colored etching. And I was very surprised when I met him that he was speaking French, actually.
Tu as 3-4 images dans la même image.
Qui sont superposées.
Okay, exactement.
I'd have to say the fact that he speaks French is helpful too. You know, we have a very good common background here.
The relationship with someone like Pascal is built over many years. I mean, it was over 20 some odd years.
In our business, once you start to have a business relation with an artist, usually it's a lifetime. It happened that after having been working for so long, he trusts me very much about what he wants, and I feel kind of free with him. And it's a very interactive process.
Une fois, celle-ci, je m'en suis servi. It's good, it's a comfortable relationship because you don't have to say much to know exactly what you mean.
He tells me what he likes, you know, and I try to translate it into a print, and he gives me his feedback, I change the print. It's kind of a dialogue actually going on. So this original drawing is shot and enlarged to the size of the print, and it's enlarged on a miler. And that miler here is going to be our key to cut all the different films that we need to print the different colors. One for the body of the horse, one is the background, and the third miler, which is the mane and the tail of the horse. Of course, those 4 milers have to register perfectly on top of one another. They're perfectly registered. And then, when those 3 milers are going to be printed with the chorus, we're going to end up printing the black. So a lot of different steps.
We don't realize how we are witnessing evolution every day all around us. There are animals that are not finished. They're not at the end of their journey. I mean, they're still in things. So I cited the kangaroo because it's a perfect example of an animal that is not there yet. With, you know, small arms, it doesn't make sense. It's not finished, you see. But a horse, that is the perfect animal. I mean, the horse, it's completely come to total fruition. It's right there, and you can really behold it and says, my gosh, what else can I add to this? That's it.
we just expose this mirror on the screen to the light, and the light has hardened all the emulsion of the screen that has been exposed, but what is under the ruby film here has not been exposed and is going to be washed away in the next step.
The work that I do is basically a distillation of my thoughts, and I try to break the level up rather than lower it down, which unfortunately is a lot of what we see around us. You know, there's so much mediocrity, but in a way it reflects our own mediocrity. And so I try my own little way, if I can possibly elevate things a little bit in my own work, you know, in my own little stone that I bring to the edifice around all of us. You know.
We have the print with the colors we printed yesterday, the mane and the tail of the horse, and the background that was printed 2 days ago. Everything looks really beautiful. We're very happy with it. You see how the colors are blending from the dark red to the very light one, and that blend is perfectly smooth. That's really great. I'm very happy with that.
You know, Moroccan born, North Africa, you got to wing it. You know, I mean, you know, things just don't come easy. I never had the basis, you know, I mean, schools and what have you. So you really go through life winging it. And to this day, I feel it. Because one of the problems when you wing it, as I said, is that you constantly have to test yourself. In other words, every time you do a new work, it is a new work. It's as if you're doing it all over again. It's as if you're starting from scratch and you say, my God, have I learned something? No. So that's one of the problems of self-taught. But in a way, I tap into this. It gives me a lot of freedom in the sense that you kind of rebel within yourself. Say, who cares? You know. And by that attitude, you sort of free yourself. And so many times, you know, what usually would have a structure, in my way, is totally unstructured. You know, and I like it that way.
We just fit the screen on the press, and we just locked it in place so it doesn't move, because we cannot afford the slightest movement in the screen, or we would lose our registration.
One should never fear color, in a sense that I see many artists, you know, concerned about where the color hits and where the light and I say, well, this is not photography. I'm going to deal with color the way I deal with my lines. It's an impression of a horse. It's an impression of the muscle structure. And the same way is my approach to color, which is color should be telling not a story, but a visual element. And at the same time, it has a life of its own.
The squeegee is going to push in through the screen and to the paper, and the flow bar, when the whole thing comes back, is going to catch the ink and bring it back to the starting point. Since that a split fountain, we have to contain the 3 colors. Every step has to be done, you know, perfect. Okay, here we have the last color that has been applied as a split fountain from red to green. We have 4 or 5 different colors here that are blended together. So that's the final product for the colors.
There's a lot of stuff that makes me happy. I mean, you know, breathing every day makes me happy.
As you see, all the colors have been printed now, and we just put glue down on the background, and Svetja is laying the leaves. And as you can see, those leaves are extremely fragile, and it's a time-consuming step because all those leaves have to be put down by hand, one by one, until the whole background is covered. Those leaves will be brushed away, and only where the glue is, the metal is going to stick. And after that, we're going to print the lines.
So it's great. It's just the right. And what I like about the top of it is that it really melts into the neck. We're all influenced by what we see, but you know, but yesterday I was looking at the proofs that we did on the silk screen. I was looking at the screen and I thought, amazing how Chinese my horses look. I don't know why. I have nothing to do with Chinese art, you know. It is just, you know, but it was funny. It looked very Chinese, and it wasn't the first time I had that impression. So obviously there are influences and things, but one is not even aware of. The color in the mane is so great because it has so much of this color, and yet it's not the same color at all, but it really, really marries very well. All right, alrighty. I'm really concerned. This is so much good, I'm concerned, you know. Sounds like déjà vu all over again. Etching is a sort of a link to a very, very long past. And the beauty of etchings is that what you do today is the way it has been done for centuries. I mean, there's really nothing really new about it. Again, with the comfort of someone like Pascal Giraudon, you know that you're in good hands and that he's going to take care of that baby. But now you see the importance of that etching when it comes to having the hidden horse here, you see?
Yeah.
You see, because it's right there and it's so completely there. The etching is actually an image of the hidden horse that's within the silkscreen of the illustrated horse, Cheval Illustré. It's sort of a accompanying piece in a way. It sort of explains the other piece. It's nice, it's like a twin, and you're looking at an element from that work. Like I said, I didn't choose this or choose that, you know. I was a lazy bum all my life, you know, so I decided, you know, why don't I just do what I like to do and go through with it. And it's an attitude that worked for me. I don't know that it's going to work for everyone, but there's something that everyone actually enjoys doing. And the idea is, why don't you just be the best at what it is that you enjoy doing, you know. And if it's a labor of love, then it's, you know, you've really accomplished something, and I really enjoy what I do.